thank you for the opportunity to go over. We're going to try to go over 2 years in less than 20 or 25 minutes, so we'll be quick. I want to acknowledge the team members that we have here. I thought the Okemos soccer coach talked about how if everyone is doing their jobs and their positions and their roles, great things happen. And it reminded me of everyone sitting at this table, and everyone at the head table, and everyone on Zoom. A year ago, the board set their 2021 action plan. I'm not going to go through all those because we'll go through them individually. Number one was about COVID and maintaining good customer service and helping our business community during COVID. As you know, the township assisted with local business grants through the EDC and through our Economic Development Office to the tune of about $500,000. Number two was our solar project, which is our third year of our solar project, and that went extremely well, led by Manager Perry, and we installed solar at the service center. Three, diversity, equity, and inclusion. As you can see, we made great strides, especially in our police department, where 40%, 60% of our last 10 individuals hired in our police department have boosted our ranks to 25% female members. Probably one of the highest in the entire state. We can't overlook that. Great work by Chief Plaga. We also increased our diversity ranks at our leadership positions, but not just increased our diversity, we increased diversity with excellence. Really, really important. We have a ways to go, but Director Tehoff and the fire department and others were making progress in that. Stevens department, Mr. Givas is more diverse as well. Four, construction in Okemos and Haslett. An update on that, we had a great meeting with a developer this afternoon, Director Schmidt, Director Clark, with a strong potential of a developer for the remaining 19 acres up at Haslett. In fact, we saw a schematic. So there's good news potentially coming there to join with Pine Village. We continue to work with the Village of Okemos. We're doing everything we can do. I'm not going to run through the litany of DDA and Brownfield and Meridian Redevelopment Fund and all the things that the township has done. We've done more than our share. If we're trying to meet somebody at midfield, we're on their 35-yard line. They need to come up closer to midfield.
Thank you for using football terms instead of soccer. I appreciate that.
There you go. I know nothing about soccer, so I know my place. And then, of course, the downtown Haslett. We expect Pine Village to begin their project immediately when the calendar turns. It's going to be how long have we wanted something? I think I hear L&L went out, I think it was around 07, I think. So we're bordering on 15 years since development up there. And we just have the right people in place. Director Schmidt and Director Clark, just a fantastic leadership in our economic development team. And of course, the Haslett Marathon Station across the street. Goal number 5, local roads. Director Perry's making great progress for that with our engineering team. And again, it's all about the PASER rating, right? This board likes metrics, right, Trustee Opsimer? They want to see where we're at year to year. So with that, here's the benchmarking for local roads. The blue is where we need to be to get to an 8. Remember, we were at a 4.35. We want to get to an 8 at the end of the year, at the end of the 10 years, right? Well, as you can see, our rating for the orange is where we are, blue is where we need to be. And so we're exceeding each of the first 2 years, we're exceeding where we need to be an 8. Goal number 6 is developing broadband in the township, and we're working with the county to make that happen. That's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take us a while to get there, but we are working on the road to make that happen and partnering with the county. Goal number 7 was the Lake Lansing pathway, phase 1 and 2. It's all been designed, it's ready to be built, and as you know, it's a $2.6 million project with only $300,000 or $350,000 coming from the township, from our pathway fund. The rest is being funded by the county parks millage, and we just received a $300,000 grant from the Michigan Department of Trust Fund, DNR Trust Fund, to make that happen. So we're funding $350,000 out of a $2.6 million project. It's going to be a great, in fact, there it is. We're going to a great addition to our pathway system. Probably the largest enhancement to our pathway system as far. It'll take us from Shaw Street at the Music Hall at MSU all the way to Lake Lansing. And as you can see, some of the other improvements we made in the community. Goal number 8, the signage. We've not made the progress I'd hoped to on the signage. That's going to be a project that's forefront in 2022. At the very least, replacing the 2 signs on township property. It's more difficult than what you think, maybe, to get this done, because for us to do the entry signs to the township, we're unlike cities where they can go put up where they want because they have erect the signs where they want because they have the right of way. We don't have the right of way. It makes it much more challenging. This project started under the direction of Communication Director Guthrie maybe 5 years ago, and we've made progress. Goal number 9, upgrading the township website under the head of our communications department, Brandy Yates. Extremely great work, and the project was, the website was launched on November 15th. Finally, goal number 10 is keeping our promise to the residents about MERS pension payments. And of course, you can see we made a promise to contribute $1.5 million above the required payment. As you can see, these are the actual MERS numbers. We are keeping our promise and exceeding that to our residents, and we've done it in 2018, 19, 20, and 21. And there's what we're required on the left, and on the right is what we're actually putting into the MERS pension system. 2021 accomplishments. Debt-free. You know, I think everybody, what do they do? Scream on Ramsey, we're all debt-free. We won't do that tonight, but we probably should, because we were $6 million in debt with our township pension fund and retiree health care just 5 years ago. And we now have paid those off over just great planning and great management by the board and the staff over the last 5 years. That's a huge number. That sets you apart from the rest of the state. We welcome our new assessor, Ashley Winstead. Of course, she's a level 3. We have to have a level 4 master assessor. We approached the state. Supervisor Steicher wrote a letter requesting that we get a waiver for a year. We just found out yesterday that we got approval for Assessor Winstead to work for us for a year at level 3, and she is working on her master level 4. So we appreciate the supervisor's help, and we appreciate Director Schmidt bringing her to us and for her agreeing to join us. It's working out really well. Speaking of that, we got a 2-for-1 here. We got from Howell, we got Director Schmidt and our assessor from the city of Howell. Our warning sirens, just a few years ago, we had 4. We need to have 15. We installed the 10th this year. The 11th is in the budget for next year. Home TV continues to be recognized on a regional and national level for their leadership, and this is Sam, who does just a tremendous job on our communications department. We updated the MUPD. That project had stalled, Mixed Use Plan Unit Development Ordinance. That project had stalled for quite a while, not with Director Schmidt on board. It's now accomplished. Copper Creek up in Haslett, the subdivision. First subdivision to break ground in Haslett in a very long time. It's good to see. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Buddy's Pizza on Grand River, replacing the former Burger King. Trader Joe's, recently announced in the last week. We hope to see them erect their building in 2022, and they'll be located northwind across from Whole Foods. This is a significant accomplishment for the township. They only come to the Ann Arbors, the Novis, the Birminghams, the Grand Rapids, and Meridian Township. When you're listed in that, that sets you apart from that. We got our retiree health care paid off, and we have Trader Joe's. We've had a tremendous year. But of course, that would be a tremendous year in most communities, but here we do so much more. The inaugural season of the Marketplace on the Green, tremendous success under Director Maisner and her team. Not only did we have farmers markets and that sort of thing there, we also welcomed the Haslett High School homecoming dance. So it's a lot more than just a farmers market. Through the work of Trustee Jackson through LEAP and Director Clark and Director Maisner, we're able to receive the $10,000 art grant from LEAP, and we appreciate Trustee Jackson's leadership on that, and then our staff pulling that off. We unveiled the public art just about 4 weeks ago. The Kiwanis Youth Sports Pavilion, a great effort by Treasurer DeShane and the Kiwanis Club. I believe Manager Perry's the president of the Kiwanis Club. Their donation, their strong financial support allowed us to put up the artificial ice rink at the marketplace. Police accreditation, reaccreditation, Chief Plaga, of course, leading our police department in only the way that he can, and we're going to be recertified with our police accreditation. The deer management program has been enhanced. We've been averaging approximately 70 to 100 deer per year on a good year. Last year, 350 through an amplified program that begins on January 1. It's a firearm with baiting approved by the DNR. We surveyed our residents this year and asked them, do you want to see us continue the program? And 81% of the residents said yes. Hard to get anyone to agree on something at 81%. Great work at the Harris Nature Center. If you haven't been out, check out the new restroom and shelter. The new ladder truck, as we promised in 07, we said we'd order it in 2021. We did. We're paying cash for it, and we should receive the new ladder truck in 2022. Great leadership by Chief Hamill. The most important thing is when we make a promise, we keep it. Recruitment, retention, and well-being. This is something that's we're jumping off the dock on, and again, setting us apart from most every community in Michigan. We're doing increased salary adjustments to all departments based on inflation and a number of things. We're going to a 4-day work week for January and February. And we're also offering a retention payment. And of course, we do lug nuts games, we do summer picnics, and we do casual wear, and we do a lot of stuff here. And I think our team really appreciates it. And here's some of the fun that we had this past summer in a wiffle ball game. The red team lost and the blue team won. I mentioned our citizen survey, diversity, roads, sidewalks, all of that stuff included in our citizen survey. That was led by Director Clark. Also, Director Clark brought us our first ever, but not our last, Juneteenth event, and it was really well received by our community, and we appreciate her leadership. Don't just come in and do the status quo. Come in and improve things, and that's what she has done. The COVID hotline, although it's not as popular as obviously it was, thankfully, back in 2020. We continued into 2021 with operating that for assistance for people. That's been probably, again, something that sets us apart from other communities in the state. We responded 24/7 to our residents back in 2020. Powell Road repaving, or Powell Road paving, that's a project through a special assessment that's serving the Silverstone development, 28 lots off of Powell Road. Again, being bold, being the leaders, that's what we are. And we went through struggling to get paramedics, as everyone is in the state of Michigan. Chief Hamill came up with a program, the board supported it, and we're actually putting a young lady through a paramedic school I'll tell you, attracting paramedics and police officers is an extremely critical issue for the state of Michigan and beyond. Telehealth is a new program through the police department. Again, we just don't do things and keep doing what we do. We are bold, we're innovative, and we're visionary at Meridian Township. We set the bar for other communities in the region and beyond. What do? We have a system now set up where if the police department comes upon a case where someone has a mental health issue, instead of hoping that our officer is properly trained for that, we have a system where they can immediately call and be connected to someone who's a mental health expert. Again, bold, visionary leadership. That's 2021 in about 10 minutes. Let's go on to 2022 and our action plan and what we hope to accomplish in 2022. All the goals are before the board tonight. And just so the listening audience knows out there, this is about 10 to 15 hours of work by the board. The first review of it, and then an all-day session last Saturday, and then this evening. So this is the third time the board is looking, receiving, or considering their goals. Number one is to work with the Ingham County on the project for the Grand River Bridge, or the Okemos Road Bridge, and the Grand River Enhancement Project. Two very big projects. In fact, in some communities, if you did this and you did the pathway from Okemos to MSU, it would be a banner year. people would think we really got a lot accomplished. Well, here there's about 30 other things we hope to do in 2022. Goal number 2 is to continue our work with diversity. In fact, not only increase it, but make it on a regular basis. Make sure that it's a top priority in everything that we do, because it's extremely critical and it's extremely important that we not only hire talent, but we hope hire diverse talent. Goal number 3 is to continue our efforts up in Haslett and the village of Okemos. And right now, it looks like Haslett's way ahead of Okemos when it comes to these 2 projects, with both of the projects being, one being ready to go up in Haslett, the other could be in the forefront in January and February. And again, we hope to get the team moving on the other project. Goal number 4 is updating our master plan. It was approved by the board in 2017, and Director Schmidt will be leading us through a relook of the master plan in 2022. Goal number 5 is our 4th solar project and a wetland campaign. It's all about the environment. We want to be more conscious, more consistent, whatever the right C word is, for our wetland efforts. But we certainly want to extend our efforts into 2022 with wetlands and recycling events at our 4th solar project. The location of that's yet to be determined, but the money has been placed in the budget and appropriated by the board. Goal number 6 involves infrastructure, and it's a number of things, but the highlight of that would be the MSU to Lake Lansing Trail. Of course, there's other areas in there. We've got a huge $500,000 set aside to enhance our IT infrastructure. That'll be led by Director Gibas. Manager Perry will lead the MSU to Lake Lansing, and there's a few other things on here that we'd also like to accomplish under infrastructure. Goal number 7, we just accomplished, we hope to accomplish in the next 45 minutes, is the Williamstown police contract that has been an adjustment for us based on staffing. And then, of course, really bold recruiting for police and fire, and updating our accreditation for the police department. That's our efforts for public safety. It's all about staffing, and we received some good news today. We lost an officer 2 years ago who was an outstanding officer. He went into sales, realized in the last week or so, sales aren't for him. He wants to get back in law enforcement. And now consider this. He could go wherever he wants to go right now. Isn't it something that he contacted Meridian Township and wants to come back here? That's a tribute to the atmosphere that Chief Plaga and his leadership has created at the police department. Goal number 8 is a financial. Continue our support of MERS and our pension. We don't have to worry about retiree health care now. We don't have to worry about our township pension fund. Out of the 3, 2 are fully paid now. We can totally focus in on MERS. And of course, then the board's going to have a deliberate and meaningful conversations about the art funding. Where is the $4.5 million? What's the best use of that? And we're looking forward, as a team, we're looking forward to the board's input and direction on where that's going to go. Goal number 9 involves enhancements to this town hall room and the community service millage that we have coming up. That involves 3 things. It involves community resource, which is through Darla Jackson, supportive of the community, a recreation program through Director Maisner, and 3, our senior center. Those 3 things, and it's a very small millage. It's like 1.14. It's not even a quarter of a mil that supports those 3 areas. So that millage, which I believe was 10 years, comes up in 2022. So we'll be paying attention to that. And goal number 10, again, is to continue our retention and recruitment program. We were 12 or 13 team members down just about 8 months to go, 10 months ago. We are now separating police and fire. We're down about 1 or 2 positions township-wide. Our recruitment and retention is working. People are hearing about the 4-day work weeks. They're hearing about the retention payments. They're hearing about casual wear. They're hearing about all the things that we're doing here. And again, it's a complete team effort. There's 2 years and about 20 minutes. So that's what we've done in 2021, and that's what we hope to accomplish in 2022. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was an excellent report. Thank you very much. As you said, it's a microcosm of the things the board itself has been looking at, talking about, discussing, and working on for several meetings now, including last Saturday. We met from 9 a.m. to about 2:30. So we are very much into this and are very appreciative of everything that the township has accomplished and looking forward to what more can be accomplished. We now come to citizens addressing, well, of course, are there any questions for the manager with regard to that report?